AJ Alberts Water Connection.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Top of the morning, October 11th, 2025. We are live here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mr. Mike Overson, Luminate Bank, Scott Wolmering, myself, Ryan O'Neill, with the Minnesota Real Estate Team, RE/MAX Advantage Plus, Steve Groen, AJ Alberts Plumbing. Steve, great to have you. Scott, good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're going to go live here shortly. 612-294-6949 is how you can join the discussion. You can call in. We'd love to hear you live, or you can just type in your questions on any of the social media feeds. It comes right to Ryan, and we'll answer it for you as best we can.
Yeah, a lot to talk about today, just locally with the real estate market, mortgages, interest rates, nationally as well. Some interesting news coming out here this past week. Great to have Steve. Great to have Steve back, Steve. And we're getting ready to go live on air already. So again, wherever you're catching us on social media, thank you. Here we go, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thank you for joining us. Hope your weekend is starting off well. It is, hard to believe, October 11th, 2025, and this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show here at CCO, WCCO, every weekend. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us, 612-294-6949. This is a show hosted by Mike Overson of Luminate Bank, local bank right here in Minnesota and the Twin Cities. Wonderful folks. And of course, Scott Wolmering and myself, Ryan O'Neill, with the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Please interrupt us at any point, 612-294-6949. By phone or text, comes to us right in studio. Scott, good to see you, young man.
Yeah, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan said, we're here every week and have done this for 20 plus years. I think actually, exactly 20 years.
20 years, Scott.
October of 2005, I think, was when we started. So 20 years. And we do talk everything real estate and mortgage related. Love your questions. It's a live show, 612-294-6949. We're staring out at the downtown skyline here at WCCO, and love your questions.
Yeah, again, a lot to talk about. We're going to dive in, actually, both to a mortgage update as well as a real estate update. So mortgages this past week, a slight dip. Last week, sort of the national average, right around 6.34 for a 30-year fixed. This year, a little bit lower, down to 6.3. So still right in that similar range for that 30-year mortgage. And then overall, just some interesting numbers, Scott, from a real estate standpoint. New listings, new homes for sale, down about 6% year over year. 1,293 new properties for sale. Pending sales also down 6%. 870 accepted offers. And then the inventory is almost identical to last year, 10,763. One last thought, guys, to comment on is right now they are showing in the second quarter of 2025, there are 47.4% of mortgaged residential properties in the U.S. are considered equity rich, meaning that they have at least 50% equity. This was the second quarter of 2025. That's an improvement, a slight improvement. Scott, gosh, that's crazy. Almost 50% of the properties have at least 50% equity.
Yeah, that surprised me. I mean, it didn't surprise me that the majority of houses have equity in it, but the fact that 50% were at 50, that actually surprised me. And before we get more into the deep numbers, I just got a text from a friend, Eric Malberg, who's the broker with RE/MAX Advantage Plus, and he's correct. So Ryan yesterday won the Luminary Award.
Oh, come on.
No, I knew you wouldn't bring it up. That's why we're bringing it up. So Ryan won the Luminary Award with RE/MAX. Only 266 people in the history of REMAX have received this award. And of course, he would have gone through the whole show just talking about interest rates and all this stuff. So tell us about the Luminary Award, because it's a huge award.
That's what happens when you get old, Scott. When you get old and you've been selling real estate.
I'm older than you. They never gave me that award.
Well, you're a luminary in my book. You're a luminary. No, it's been Eric Malmberg put on an awesome event this week. It's called Realize, and it's a informational event. Eric brings in speakers, national speakers, just to help agents, support agents. And a few folks came from REMAX in Denver, and just surprised with this particular award. I just liken it to, you've been around a long time.
All right, what's the award? What is the actual award?
It's a certain amount of time and a certain amount of sales with the organization. And eventually, once you hit that threshold. So we gave a little background of us working together, starting out being an individual agent, eventually starting a team. And it's funny, Scott, a lot of people said, I never knew that you actually sold real estate.
Which is crazy.
That's when I'm like, my gosh, I've been doing this a long time.
Well, and not to go on this forever, but you did revolutionize the way that teams were run, because when I had my team and then Ryan started working with us, I still actively sold real estate and had a relatively large team at that point. And then when you came in, I think it was maybe around 2006 where you stopped selling and just helped other agents be successful, run your team, and focused on that aspect of it, which did kind of revolutionize how team leads do it, because they were always active sellers.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It has certainly been a fun ride. A lot of great agents over the years working together on the Minnesota real estate team. Eric Malmberg's just a wonderful human, great broker, very supportive of teams, individual agents. So it's been an awesome ride with him. And of course, Scott, my dear friend Scott, my original mentor in the business, that, by the way, Steve, I called him up and I asked him, Scott, what was it again? To see a bunch of homes. Yeah. And I never bought one with you.
No, you bought one. You just didn't buy it with me. And then you came on the team, and I said, in the future, you probably don't want to do that. It's okay.
He showed me. You showed me a bunch, too, didn't you?
Yeah, we went out a long time.
Yeah, we went out a bunch.
And Ryan's like, you know what? I like Susie a little bit better. I think I'm going to buy it from her.
Oh, Scott was a good sport. No, but thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And again, great show today. Got a lot to talk about. Scott, any thoughts, though, before the break? Equity, seriously, 50% of properties, that's crazy.
Well, the only thing that comes to mind is we're starting to hear now, hey, when are we going to hit the next crash? When are, blah, 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 like we did back in 2008. And guys, we're so far from that right now. As far as real estate things driving it, we're not at a crash. The difference then, nobody had any money in their house. So when things went sideways, people walked because they didn't have any equity. They couldn't sell because their house was worth 100 and they owed 300 on it. That's not what's going on here. When you have got that kind of equity position, you can take some really big fluctuations in the market, and the market can still stay stable. The only thing that would hurt the real estate market in the relative near future, 5 years, 10 years, let's say, is something outside. AI, we lose 90% of the jobs because AI takes something like that. Outside of that, we've got a really nice steady 2-3% appreciation every year. So there's not a crash around the corner.
Yeah, it is interesting because, again, when you look at national news, they're talking about nationally inventories improving, more homes for sale, and home prices are kind of flattening nationally. Yeah. But when you look, again, in Minnesota, there's been kind of slow and steady, strong price growth. Kind of 2.5% appreciation year over year. And by the way, before the break, I told Eric Malmberg, who I know may be watching or listening, I'm a good deflector. And so he needs to watch out now because I'm going to rally the REMAX forces. He should be getting the Luminary Plus Award, dealing with all of us for the last 25 years, Scott.
Or definitely the best looking broker under 65. I'd vote for that.
Yeah, that was always fun. In fact, I helped introduce him to his dear wife. His dear wife, Eric, was single for a while, and he was like the friend. I was the sidekick, and they'd always say, "Ryan, who's your friend?"
Yes,
you're a nice guy, Ryan, but Who's your friend?
Who's that guy? Brother?
Hey, we're up against a break. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. You're welcome to join us by phone, text. We've got Steve Groen in studio. Awesome guy, outstanding business owner, AJ Alberts Plumbing. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us on social media. A lot of good comments, Steve. What do you think, buddy? Who's your friend?
Oh, I've got a special friend that might be tuning in. So
All right. Yeah, very nice.
might even text a question, I've been told.
Yeah, that's good. Scott, you never got that. Who's your friend with you? When you're out and about?
No.
Like, hey, nice to meet you, but who's your friend?
Oh no, I did 100%. I will tell you that growing up, I'm 5'8". I was about 4'11" in ninth grade. So trust me, all my buddies were all these big football jocks and good looking. And as we got older and we'd go into a bar, like in our 20s, I'd be like, ask him yourself. Cause same thing. Girls would run up and be like, who's that? I'd say, go ask him yourself. I'm not your what do you call it?
Yeah.
Cupid.
Yeah. Hey, thank you all for the nice comments, for joining in. I saw a comment from Eric. Eric, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Totally unexpected. You certainly didn't have to do that. But you better watch out, though, because we're good at kind of redirecting. So the light's going to be coming on you pretty soon here, well-deserved. Pete Schrader said from the National Association of Realtors, sales of newly constructed homes jumped 20% in August. September refinance activity is nearly double what it was last September. New construction, guys.
Yeah, new construction is coming on. Again, if you've listened to the show at all, I've always told people to be very cautious with new construction, depending on what your goal is. Meaning, you just want something new, and you just want it new, and you're going to be there for 10, 15 years. That's what you think.
Yeah.
But understand that in today's market, different than 15 years ago, when you build, and you are custom building for what you want, you are behind after you build. It is not worth what you built it for. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Well, again, small builders versus national builders. I'm working with a customer right now who built with a small builder, and there's issues post-construction.
Yeah.
So we can talk more about that. We're going live back on air. Hey, welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Appreciate you joining us here, 612-294-6949. Talking a little bit new construction here, and with some new construction sales numbers increasing. And Scott and Steve, we were talking just about national builders versus local builders. Scott, what are maybe some pros and cons through the process, but also post-closing with a small builder, national builder?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been doing this as long as I have, one of the absolutes that I've run into is it doesn't matter, and I won't name builders' names. If you're building with the best, let's sit down on a napkin and sketch out your house, builder in the Twin Cities, that's the most expensive, or one of the worst. The follow-up, unfortunately, for most builders is not that great. Now the big builders, the box builders, have got it down more to a science. So there's systems in place. They've got the people in place to be able to follow up correctly. Some of the smaller builders just don't have that kind of infrastructure. Now they're also not doing 1,000 homes a year. They're doing 5 to 10. But that's probably the biggest issue with most people that build is they come in with an idea of what it's going to be. Because they're building their dream home, and that it's going to be this seamless system, and it is just not. I don't care if it's the best builder on the planet. Whenever you involve humans with many moving parts, and there's many moving parts when you build a house, there is going to be stress that goes along with it. And then we were just talking off air a little bit about the financial side of it. If you are custom building a house, no, I don't mean you're buying a new construction spec that's been on the market for 4 months where the price is adjusted. But if you are building a sit-down scratch house custom to what you're building, and it is in that $1 million to $2 million range, be very, very cautious, because if you build a house for $2 million, it is not worth $2 million when you close on it.
Yeah.
He was saying, what's it worth? It depends, but in some cases, it can be a $500,000 to $600,000 loss. I mean, because you're building it, everything you're building is at retail because it's what you want to build in your house. Now it's done. Now it's an existing house that you live in.
Yeah, had a question here about warranties. Again, it is a 1-2-10. So you have a 1-year warranty with new construction for workmanship and materials, 2 years for plumbing, electrical, heating, and cooling, and 10-year for major construction defects. The other quick note on this, and just in talking with friends, and Steve, you can maybe comment with your plumbing business you own, finding good help right now, people that will do the work, that will show up on time, that will complete the projects. And I think that's, I was talking to a friend yesterday. Actually, he's a partner on the show, Josh with Bloomington Carpet One. And one of their strengths is they've got such strong installation teams. And he said a lot of other, a lot of companies struggle with finding good help, finding installers, people that are going to actually do the work and do good work. Steve, you have any thoughts on that and what you see with your company?
Yes, I think where it's, and actually own several companies, but a lot of times what you find is it's hard to find that lead person. This is the one who thinks 4 steps ahead and is managing the workflow. The worker bees themselves, sometimes you're able to find more of those people. I'm not sure how best to figure out the best general contractor, but I think a big piece of that is how long have your employees been with you? I mean, it's kind of like an agent to a degree, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a bit to be successful.
Steve, you're a luminary in our book.
That's the award that Ryan won that nobody knows what.
I was going to ask, what does luminary mean?
You're a luminary. You're a bright light to us, Steve. You're a bright light. You are a luminary. I just want to let you know here, okay? Ryan's like, this is great radio.
What does luminary mean? I've never wondered that as we talk about real estate.
Well, and now that it's in Ryan head all day, it'll be luminary. Hey, luminary.
It's the word of the day.
Yeah, the word of the day. But it, seriously though, in that conversation with Josh yesterday, he said it's a real struggle for companies of all sizes, finding good, trustworthy people that will do the work, that will do the actual heavy lifting, and I guess I'm saying that in regards to new construction. So it's like, hey, you need to fix these 6 things. Okay, well, we've got to get it organized. We've got to find the humans. We got to be sure they're going to do the work. All that, it seems basic. You know what I mean?
Well, here's a question to any of the builders that are listening to the show, and I know we have a few. 10 years ago, what did you pay for a finish carpenter compared to what you pay now?
Yeah.
And I don't know what that number is, but I would say it is probably $50 to $75 10 years ago. And it's probably closer to $200 right now for a good finished carpenter. I know when we were doing all those teardowns in Minneapolis, we were paying $175 for our finished carpenter because not only did you have to pay that, you had to pay that to get him and to have him actually come and work.
Or her.
Yep. I know there's one in Cottage Grove that is a finished carpenter.
You're terrible.
Sally does a great job. No, I'm just kidding. There's obviously finished carpenters out there everywhere. But yeah, I mean, so when you look at the cost of homes, the fact that we're losing all of our tradesmen, they're getting paid more, which they should. Cost of homes go up.
Steve, how have you retained all of your folks with AJ Alberts and others?
That's a fantastic question. I think to back it up for a moment, the way my mind works is on preventing problems. So a problem pops up and I'm like, okay, how do I prevent that from ever happening again? Put systems, procedures, whatever. So in the case of not having enough people, that gets back to a myriad of things, but it starts with culture.
Yeah.
It starts with, are you managing these people, but allowing them to make decisions, finding the right fit, and then not being afraid to pull the trigger too higher or pull the trigger to remove someone if they're not the right fit. I actually had to remove someone a couple of weeks ago, and just wasn't a fit for the culture. I think he was a good tradesman and all, just wasn't a good fit. But if that culture is not right, you can't attract people. Or if you can attract them and sell them, they're not going to stay.
They're not going to stay.
They're not going to stay. So you got to have the pieces. There's one of the popular questions that asks that to survey employees, do you have a good friend at work? And this is true, because if you have a good friend at work, so part of that is just working through referrals to bring on people because it makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah. Yep, kind of that human connection. Interesting question. There's no address listed, but just say, hey guys, I hear you talk about the market being stronger, prices increasing. My home's been on the market now 60 days. I haven't sold it. Help.
It's overpriced without even knowing your house. In this market, I'll put a caveat on that. If it's under $2 million, it's overpriced. This market, you got to understand, when people think in terms of, well, I've only been on the market for 2 months or 3 months, 10 years ago, it would take 3 months to get 4 showings on your property. Now, if you're priced correctly, you're talking about 10, 15 showings in the first week. If you're not sold, you are overpriced, period. End of story. Hate to say it that directly, but I don't know why people get so caught up in it. It is very easy math. Nothing prevents a sale in this market because there's too much pent up demand other than one thing. You're chasing a number that just isn't there.
Yeah,
I have
Sorry,
a real life problem to solve. So my mom passed in February, and she had a condo for sale in Edina. New paint, new air conditioner, new all this stuff. Listed at 130. Sat there for a month, 10 showings, 1 offer. They bailed. I said to the agent, well, let's drop it. We dropped it to 125. Hadn't had an offer since. Maybe 2 more people walked through. It's like there's not demand for that. I could drop it 10 grand. I don't know if that would matter. So if the demand's not quite there, fantastic location. I frankly, I don't know why people wouldn't want it, but
yeah, but you hit on exactly that. It has to do with price reductions are thrown out. For example, anyone that's worked with me understands I will not do a price reduction unless it's an impact point. So for example, let's use this as an example. You're listed at, let's say 150. I know you said 130. So the only reduction that makes any sense that is going to make any impact whatsoever is 125. And that's probably only picking up 3 or 4% of the buyers because the search is from 1 to 150. So then the only other search point that makes any sense is 100 grand. Well, you're like, my God, why would I go 25,000? Because at some point the market is going to overcome that. At $100,000, you probably are picking up 20 to 30% of the buyers. And then you go to multiple offers and you get your number.
Yeah, we're up against the halfway point here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're going to continue the discussion here. Before we break, though, I've got a feature. We got a couple nice listings. One by my dear friend, Miss Micah Lee Jenkins, outstanding agent with RE/MAX Advantage Plus, the Minnesota real estate team. She's got one in St. Peter, 2017 Essler Drive down in St. Peter for $399. This is a 2017 built, three bed custom built. It's a patio home. There's no HOA fees. It's got select alder kitchen cabinetry, hickory millwork, quartz countertops. You got a full primary, a full bath with a walk-in closet, walk-in shower. You got in-floor heat, including a garage plus supplemental heat. And it's a very private, mature backyard with mature trees, views, and multiple walking paths. That's 2017 Essler Drive in St. Peter, listed for $399. And then the other property, Nikki Popko, it's got a nice one in Andover, up in the north part of the cities, 15001 Taylor Street in Andover for $439,900. Scott, almost 4 acres. Okay, it's got a DNR 601 classification, meaning you can hunt right on your own land. 34 by 32 heated workshop with its own electrical panel. Perfect for hobbies, project storage, lots of updates. New roof, windows, insulation, gutters, water heater, new septic system. And the inside is ready for your personal updates as well. This is at $439,900. Big value, Nikki says, with tons of potential. Check that out, 15001 Taylor. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing you were bringing up.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you as well for listing that with us.
You're welcome.
We got to give you a bad time because he's a buddy.
Yes.
But isn't that the business? And I was talking to a good friend yesterday about this. As agents, we get so hurt when stuff happens, and I get it. We all need to make a living, but you forget people have relationships, all kinds of different. And you're as a friend, I'm giving you I'm giving you a bad time.
So in that case, though, it's listed at 140. We dropped it to 135.
Steve's like, good deflection. He's like, I'm going right back.
You're like, hey, probably should have been $120.
$125.
Yeah, 125.
125.
Because
If
you
you're gonna
search
do-
by
if you're
that.
gonna do any reduction at all, it has to hit a new group of people looking, or else no one cares about a $10,000 price reduction. They don't go, oh my gosh, it was 140, now it's 130. Let's run out and buy it. In fact, in 29 years of doing this, correct me if I'm wrong, I have never have you had somebody that has come in, looked at one of my properties, and then I reduced it, and then they came back and buy it.
Yeah.
Never, 29 years, not one time. So
That's very
it's human nature. You've already seen it. You've already discounted that you're not buying it.
Yeah.
So the price reduction doesn't do it. The new impact of you had 40 people looking, or 40 saved searches when it was at 140, and now you have 120 saved searches at 125. That's a whole bunch of people that never saw it now did.
How much are the HOA fees?
Roughly 500.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's the reason why. Again, you think about buying $100,000 property and you got to pay $500 for HOAs. That's what's killing a lot of
Which is
townhome.
almost buying something at 200,000.
Because
Same
again,
payment.
so HOAs and insurance are killing townhome and condo sales right now.
Yeah.
Very hurting, I shouldn't say. Not killing, but because it's hard. $530. That's a lot
That's a lot.
for a $100,000
Well,
condo.
and at
That's why you got to keep dropping price.
Yeah, so you figure at 6% at a 6% interest rate, it's basically $60 for every 10,000. So yeah, it's almost $100,000.
Here we go, guys.
buying power.
Welcome back to the second act of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you listening. Hope you and your families are having a great October, beautiful fall day. Before we dive back into Steve Groen, AJ Alberts, and his question about pricing, we do just a minute of hope, Scott and I call it. Scott, this week, got a great story to share with the O'Neill Foundation of Hope. This one is called A Story of Strength, Standing with Prince and His Family. Prince received a rare cancer diagnosis, unable to work. Family, of course, facing unimaginable challenges. His wife, however, is working tirelessly to keep their home, put food on the table, provide for their 5 children, all while Prince is going through surgery, chemo, and radiation. With a positive attitude, faith in God, and unwavering family devotion, he is a wonderful example of determination. The O'Neill Foundation of Hope is honored to stand beside Prince and his family on their journey, offering support, financial assistance on their housing, and most importantly, hope in a better tomorrow. Prince, we met him yesterday, Scott, wonderful human being. We're sending him lots of love and ongoing prayers. He's a young man, got a cancer diagnosis, went through surgery this summer. Life throws us all some challenges. That's what we do with the O'Neill Foundation of Hope. We help people going through those struggles. Go to o'neillhope.org to learn more. Scott, tough deal.
Yeah, it is a tough deal. And you guys do, we talk about it all the time on the show, but just so much good. And, it's fun personally, obviously, being friends with you to just talk with you on a daily basis about, you get more excited about the people that you're helping. Not that you don't love real estate, but there's more of a pep in your step.
Yeah.
When you're out with these people, helping them take care of stuff. It's just, good for you guys.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your support. We've got a lot of great WCCO listeners who are supporters. A lot of people ask, how can I get involved? Just go to o'neillhope.org. You can nominate anyone going through a really difficult time, multiple hardships. Obviously you can donate as well. We are a 501c3, but we just, we appreciate all the support of the CCO listeners. Steve, we were talking a little bit about your condo, and I can tell it's frustrating. Association fee, though, is $500 on that thing. That's a lot for people to swallow. Any thoughts about the condo?
Well, I haven't bought a condo or sold one, but I can see how that factors in. You start doing the math. Okay, I have this for a loan. This is my association fee, and it may not work. So the price may need to come down. I don't know what the other options are.
Yeah.
Well, and more importantly, what you would, because normally when you've got a condo building, there's also other condo buildings relatively close around it. What you'll want to look at is not just where you're at price per square foot, or, when you're doing a market analysis for what it's worth versus the other building, but what is the association fee? Because if you're both 1,000 square feet and you're both built in 1954, and that one has an association fee of $225 and you have an association fee of $550, you're going to get in basically you're going to get $25,000 to $30,000 less for yours for the exact same unit because the payment's the same.
Well, and especially now within the insurance world and everything going on, Brad Sanford, Farmers Insurance, was just on talking about insurance rates rising and HOA insurance issues as well. And so it's something to think about. If you own a condo or townhome right now, it's also important to think about the strength of your HOA and the financial shrewdness maybe of it. Scott, is that the right word of saying, hey, are we priced reasonably? Because that affects your resale. And now sellers like you, Steve, and very sorry about your mother's passing. It's hard to understand. Why is this not selling?
No. Let's talk about some plumbing.
Yeah, come on, Steve.
That's exciting.
Good redirect.
Let's ramp this show up. Let's talk about some plumbing.
Plumbing, Steve. It's an honor working with you guys. By the way, I'm a big review person. I want to know who I'm working with. Love the reviews. When you Google AJ Alberts, who is this company? What do they do? Seeing the strength of your reviews and what you guys do. Very well done, Steve. Talk a little bit about your business.
Sure. So the reviews were, I was going to say mildly obsessed. I don't know if there's such a thing. We're obsessed with customer service, repeat referral. That's the name of the game. It's no different than selling real estate, right? You have got to have that in place to be successful. And then you have to respond to people's times where we think of it, we just make it easy. So for example, one of your agents contacted me. There's a failed tissue report. We were there in 30 minutes, gave the quote and everything. They needed install the next day, but they had a showing at 12:30. We showed up at 1:15, knocked it out. So hopefully that's an experience where they're going to use us again. Good pricing, all that stuff too. And then in the business itself, so a lot of people think plumbing, toilets, faucets, water heaters, but the 30 or 40% of my business is water conditioning. So all my guys carry like electronic testers. So we can go out and test, is there iron in it? The whole PFAS and forever chemicals. We have all the products in place to remove those and make life better, test the water and make sure everything's working properly. All of our products are just as good or better than all the big companies out there that do this. Like, I won't name any names, but companies rhyme with like Mulligan, you know. But then the work's actually done by plumbers who can do everything in the house. Competent, really competent people. I don't have any salesmen. They're just really, really great employees. And we have 10 plumbers, do the 7-county metro and Western Wisconsin. We also have a division that does remodel work for general contractors. So if you're doing an add-on or doing a bathroom and you need help with something, we can install your fixtures, we can supply them. So we do a variety of those things. But the water conditioning is a huge, just massive part. So we do free water tests. Every single day we're selling and installing water softeners, carbon filters, whole home PFAS filters, iron filters. It just any type of it's got the word filter. So if you walk around your home and you look at everything that touches water, that's what we do. Does it touch water? That's, sump pump, exterior faucets. It just kind of goes on and on.
Hey, Steve, do you find that people are, because you were mentioning obviously great service and good pricing, do you find that people in your line of work, when they're hiring a plumber, having somebody come out, are they really that price focused, or are they, because for me personally, I've used the same guy in my area forever and he's more expensive. But when you said you're there in a half an hour, I mean, he might not be there in a half an hour, but he's there the same day. It's taken care of. I know there's no problems. I don't care if it's 10, 15% more. And I've always been shocked actually in real estate, how people are so commission oriented. Cause I'm always like, this is the biggest sale you have. So it's like, if you don't think that the person that you want to go with can get you an extra $5,000 or $10,000. And I would think that's the same way in plumbing. I just want it done and I want it done right. Whether it's a $400 bill or a $425 bill, I don't really care.
It depends. I mean, everyone's got a different type of price sensitivity and they look at, well, I can do it myself. We also compete with companies that really have, I'm just going to say exorbitant rates. There's probably a half a dozen big companies in this market. They're private equity companies. Their ads might say locally owned, not true. They're private equity owned. And it's a different game with those people.
How can
So-
you say
but what-
you're locally owned though? I don't understand that.
I think maybe if you leave a owner of that company owns some sort of small percentage, maybe you get away with that. But the reality is, we don't advertise on billboards. I got 10 plumbers. We just do really good work. And from a price standpoint, just kind of depends on where we're at, where the customer's at in their own. Like some people have never had a plumber out.
Sure.
And I don't care what price you have, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
So
Steve.
compared to zero, it's
Expensive.
money. So
Steve, you recently went to a class reunion.
I did. I went to a 40th class reunion.
Was it great to
Ex-
see your classmates?
It was fantastic.
Yeah. And how many you said had passed?
Yeah. So Sauk Center have roughly 130 kids that graduated, and 11 had passed. So we spent a lot of time just talking about the people who have left. We also got a tour of the high school. It's changed dramatically. Good times.
Were you like
know-
class president or something? I bet you were. I can imagine
No.
with you, Steve.
No, I was
Overachiever.
Yeah, I wasn't voted overachiever, but I was voted best legs, so I got that.
That's funny.
Best legs.
and so true. If I might say so.
Oh,
I
man,
would rather
Steve.
have won some other award, 'cause, yeah,
Like Mr. Congeniality or something.
something like that. You know what's interesting is how many people really don't stay in touch with others in the class.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a lot of people I stay in touch with, and also the number of people I think that are afraid to go back to reunions because they can only remember high school. And they may not talk to people and they think it's going to be weird. And it's certainly kind of weird, but it's fantastic.
Yeah,
It's all positive.
here's the thing. One of the many reasons I loved growing up in New Prague was just the community, just so many good people. And we had a recent reunion. I love going to reunions and just seeing people connecting. I think sometimes there is, if you have bad memories of something, it causes you to say, hey, do I really want to go and get back into this, Scott?
Yeah, I haven't gone for a long time. My thought was when you went to the 5-year reunion, everybody's giving you their resumes. It's like, yeah, give me that. It was horrible. And the 10-year I went to was kind of the same way. It's
Yeah,
like,
look at me.
yes, and and I am not interested in that. And so I haven't been to one forever.
You need to go,
but
dude.
I know from talking with my dad, and when you just said that, he said when you get to like the 30-year or 40-year, nobody cares about any of that stuff anymore. Everybody's just, we're all in our 50s now. No one gives a rip what you're doing or, any of that stuff. So I probably would enjoy it more now.
Rye, you've been going to your reunions, dude?
I went to the 10-year. I went
Yes.
to that, and it was
What was
just-
that, your junior high reunion? How old are you?
32.
Oh,
Yes. You went to your 10?
And I think just because I think there's a difference with people staying so in touch now with my younger, I'm a little younger than
Yeah.
you guys, the generation, being on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I don't think there's as much of a drive, a desire to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was only maybe like 20 people there, and I
Yeah.
graduated in a class of 200.
Oh,
Wow.
So,
Yeah,
Interesting.
that is right. I would think Facebook has made him probably dwindle a little bit.
Yeah, we're up against our final break here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Before the break, I got a touch on Linda Hips. Got a nice listing in Mayer, 337 2nd Street Northwest in Mayer. This is a townhome built in 2018, 3-bed, 3-bath, 2-car garage, 2,120 finished square feet. It's got a modern kitchen, stainless steel appliances, tiled backsplash, main floor primary bedroom. Scott has a full bath. Lower level has 2 additional bedrooms, huge family room, and it walks out to a private patio area. And the HOA does the chores. You do the living, Linda said. 337 2nd Street Northwest in Mayer for $359.9. And then Fong Cow has one in Victoria, 9727 Bridal Way in Victoria for $690. He's doing an open house today and tomorrow, 1 to 3. 4-bed, 4-bath, 3-stall garage, gourmet kitchen, quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances, a cozy floor-to-ceiling fireplace, main floor study. You've got a luxurious primary suite, freestanding tub and walk-in closet, and a walkout basement for your custom finishes. That's in Victoria, 9727 Bridal Way, $690,000, doing an open today, Saturday, the 11th, and tomorrow, the 12th, 1 to 3. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Steve, that's cool that you went. No, that's cool you went to the reunion.
Yeah, to make a short story long,
Yeah.
I went to school in Lytton, Iowa, 3rd through 7th grade. If I graduated, it would have been with 16 kids.
Huh.
I crashed
Wow.
that reunion, and I hadn't seen these kids for 45 years.
Wow.
Then I went to Humboldt High School in Iowa, 7th through 10th grade, and I crashed that one too.
Huh.
Yeah, so I'm a reunion crasher is what I am. And it was just amazing. So by the time I got to the third one, where I actually graduated from high school, I was like a pro. There's no anxiety.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
just all comfortable. And,
Hey guys, interesting comment. Brad Sanford, Farmers Insurance, awesome partner with the team and with the show, said, I always offer sewer and drain cleaning to new clients. I am currently offering $10,000 to take care of the sewer backing up into the immediate room. Do you think with the cost of materials and labor in today's market that I should be increasing that to $15,000?
Yes.
I think so too.
Yeah, I can tell you that in a Minneapolis street, if you've got to redo the connection from the street,
curb stop.
yeah, you're at least in that $15,000 range, more like $18,000.
Steve,
And
best
is it-
legs.
You're enamored
Dude.
with it. Yeah. But yeah, the one we got involved recently with there's a company at Jackhammer Dam hit a water line, and it was in St. Paul. They have lead water line coming in, so the city actually replaces that no charge. But if someone's going to do that, just the water line, that's $10K all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it can get spendy. You know, along those lines, I've recently in the last year started to see on even my listings that are in the suburbs, agents deciding to do a sewer test.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that for 20 plus years.
That's a newer trend the last few years.
Yeah.
It never used to be that way to do sewer tests. It is much more common in that inspection contingency. I like what you said, Steve, that you guys do anything that touches water. I mean, it's a good way to think about it, especially all that water conditioning, depending upon certain cities, super hard water, that type of thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you get out into Credit River, Lakeville, and you get out on acreage out there, the iron in the water out there turns your rocks and everything red, or rust, I should say.
Or rust.
Rust. So like an off red.
And record.
Hey, we're going back live on air. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Welcome back to the final segment of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We've got Steve Groen in studio with AJ Alberts. Google them, see their reviews, pull them up on the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Wonderful company. Hey, Scott Wolmering, we're talking about class reunions. First of all, you are a luminary, always in my book, young man.
Well, that's what everybody wrote in my yearbook. You are a luminary. You are a light to us.
And secondly, besides being a luminary and a light to everyone, were you? What did you win something in? Do you remember? Did you win? You did.
I did, but I
Come
can't-
on.
I can't remember what it. I can't remember what it was. Probably least likely to make it to the age of 40 alive. Back in my high school days.
And you made it.
I did make it. So you can.
Hey, Rye, how about you, bud? I know you are. By the way, the producer of this show, who deals with us every Saturday, is a very talented young man. This is very talented, very smart, well-spoken, knowledgeable. What did you win, Rye? What did you win? You won something.
Take one guess.
Most likely to succeed.
Class clown.
You did?
That's why I'm in radio.
Did you really?
I guess. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I was prom king, but that's beside.
Wow!
I would have guessed.
See?
that.
You know?
Well, I was wrong on Ryan because if anybody that knows Ryan, everything is beautiful and he loves everybody and everyone's a sweetheart and blah blah blah. So I always thought that for sure you were prom king or homecoming king.
No.
And you said you were actually shyer in high school.
Yeah, I was much shyer. Well, that's the thing. Even as I was pretty shy. Yeah, I was pretty shy as a in high school. I think I was a late bloomer. I came back after college my second year, and my football coach looked at me and said, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" I grew like 3 or 4 inches.
3 or 4 inches in college.
Yeah. Rye, so you were prom king.
Yeah, it was no big deal. I don't think about it every day, Everyone's think about it. But yeah, it was.
We want to see some images.
Oh, there! I could find some on the old Facebook.
Yeah.
I can do some scrolling here.
With the mullet.
I did have a
I know
mullet.
you did.
Not in
I
high
know he had a
school.
mullet.
Not in high school. I cut it off by middle school. But
Okay. Rye's got, they can't see him on social media, but he's got this beautiful head of hair. We always tell him just to let it go.
Yeah.
Let it keep going.
Let that flow.
I'm going to give you a Luminary Award, Ryan. You're really brightening up my day right now. All these nice things. Jeez Louise.
Hey, before we get back to Steve, AJ Alberts, Jen McKinnon's got a great listing in Woodbury. 11458 Balsam Way, Scott in Woodbury for $639,900. This is a 4-bed, 4-bath home, brand new on the market, 3,200 square feet. Lots of updates throughout the home. You got new roof and siding since 2022. Backyard oasis, Jen said, with in-ground heated saltwater resort-style pool. Wow. New filters, new cover and rollers. Panoramic views with acres of unbuilt land behind the property, parks, ball fields, and trails. It's in Stone Mill Farms, Scott, which I know you know Stone Mill Farms. It's a lifestyle neighborhood in Woodbury. Community centers, party rooms, workout facility, pool, splash pads. And then there's hockey rink, pickleball courts, parks. Everything's close by. Miles of trails, all included in HOA dues. $639,900 for this one, 11458 Balsam Way in Woodbury. Scott, nice listing.
Yeah, I've got 2 snapshots. I'll make them quick because they're not listed yet. We're listing them on Monday. But a lake home, a 3-bedroom, 1-bath lake home on 106 feet of lake shore in Clearwater. Again, I won't tell the lake, but it's an absolutely incredible lake, one of the clearest lakes over there. It's going to be $350,000. So I will actually give the address and everything next weekend. But anybody that wants to reach out to me to inquire can. And then also Suzanne Joy on the team has a really nice acreage property in Prescott, Wisconsin for $550,000 in an area that goes very, very quickly. So if you're an acreage buyer in Prescott, reach out to us.
Steve, what should folks know about AJ Alberts?
Well, if you've got a water conditioning, water quality, or any sort of plumbing issue, it's really easy. You can go online to ajalberts.com and schedule an appointment at your convenience. You can also just call us too, leave a message, or we pick up 7 to 6 pretty much, and we can help you out. I've got 10 guys ready to go. We do a lot of service work and a lot of remodeling, plumbing work. And we also work on boilers. So if you have boiler heat, in-floor heat, radiant heat, it's the fall, you turn it on, it's like it's not working, just give us a call. We fix that, replace it.
Boom.
Hey, how'd you come up with the name?
Well, I bought the company a number of years ago, and that was the name. So
AJ Albert. Is it a person?
Yeah. Yes. I think they named it AJ because the A was in the beginning of the alphabet back in the Yellow Page days, and it was easier to be found. But aside from that, they're not really relevant.
AJ Alberts.
Yeah, remember that? I forgot all about that. That is how you like AAA this and AAA that, and that's how you got found.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll be on the phone. They're like, "Hey, so look, AJ." No, my name's Steve, but I'm just not going to explain it.
You should go with it, dude. AJ, best legs in Sauk Center. And hey, it's been a fun show. Scott, last thoughts for folks as we head to the home stretch?
You know, we talk about it every year this time. We are in October. So if you are a buyer with nothing to sell, this is your time. October, November, and December. Still limited inventory, but if there is a deal found in this market or a good value found in this market, your next 3 months are it. October, November, and December are the time to buy.
Steve, great show today. Appreciate you as always. Always a ton of great info.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, AJ Alberts. Google AJ Alberts. And before we head to the home stretch, I did have to hit on this too, Scott. Sally Gill and Joe Mack, twins, 2 agents on the Minnesota real estate team, have one in Farmington for $535,000, 19697 Deerbrook Path. It's a 2-story home, 5-bed, 4-bath. They're doing an open tomorrow, Scott, 11 to 3, hosted by Miss Sally Gill and Mark Duffy, great agents on the team. Check that one out. The open house again, 19697 Deerbrook Path in Farmington for $535,000. Ryan, thank you. We're going to look for those prom king photos, dude.
Don't get your hopes up.
Oh, it's probably your picture on your
Yes,
Facebook.
it's your profile pic.
Yes, your profile pic.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. That was fun. Rye's like, we got to wrap up. We got to wrap up. The
We gotta
show's
go.
ending. The show's ending. Hey, Steve, good job, buddy.
What did that thing with your hands do? Does that mean like quiet down?
No, break. Like
Break.
if we're going to
Oh.
break.
All right, like what the hell are you
Yeah.
It's kind of the radio thing of,
Yeah.
hey, okay, time to wrap up. You
Well,
know,
what was funny when we first started the show,
A new dance.
when we first started the show, we had a woman named Kelly Guest who was our host.
awesome. Love
Awesome,
Kelly.
yeah, love Kelly. And so she would tell us that, when I give you this, that means break. So I was brand new. So I'm talking, and she goes, "Oh, I just stopped." She's like, "No, you can talk. You can finish your thought." I always thought it meant like, you got to stop.
Just
right now.
break.
Break.
Just stop. Hey, it was a fun show. Thank you, everybody. Reach out to AJ Alberts, Steve Groen, awesome plumbing company. And if we can help you with any questions, comments, thoughts, we're thinking of Scott and his luminary vibe that he gives off to me.